Hello, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my channel, Belle La Vie, where we explore the niceties of life. This video is to piggyback off of my last video from Miami Carnival on how to select a mass band to play with if you're interested in being in the parade. This is a video that is going to highlight all the events leading up to Carnival Sunday in Miami. Now, I want to start this video off by saying that this is not an exhaustive list, okay? There are quite a few events going on Miami Carnival weekend that are not even Caribbean focused either. So if you're going to be in Miami that week, it is Columbus Day weekend, so there's a lot going on. If you're going to happen to be in Miami that week and there's something else you want to get into, go ahead by all means. I'm just highlighting events that I've attended, that are popular, that are crowd favorites, that are honorable mentions, that are things just to look into, just to put a bug in your ear. But definitely do your own due diligence, do your own research, and figure out what works for you, your party, your fetting style, your time frame, all of that. So Carnival week starts off and kicks off October 9th and falls into, I would say, October 14th. Carnival Sunday is October 13th, and we close out all the events and everything, all the fun, all the whatlessness on October 14th. So if you are interested in any events and you want a little bit of guidance on how to navigate your week, stay tuned. Before Miami Carnival, we kick off typically on Wednesday. Wednesday, we keep it light. There isn't too much going on. So if you're coming in from out of town and you're flying in on Wednesday, I highly recommend, if distribution for your costume is ready to go on that Wednesday, go ahead and get your costume and get that out the way. Try it on for size, make sure everything works out well for you. Then we have a few events that I'm going to highlight. One of them is Rum Veranda. Rum Veranda typically occurs weekly every Wednesday in South Florida. So it's an event that's ongoing. But for Carnival week, we typically have a guest DJ or international DJ that comes out. So it is a huge turnout. Everybody wants to find something to do on a Wednesday night. So it really is a good place to find yourself if you want to kind of get things going, hear some of the new soca music for the season, and kind of get things riled up. It's not too far up, it's not stush, it's a very relaxed environment, it's an outdoor space, it's a beautiful venue. So it's something to check out and look into. If they're going to do it at the same venue, of course. We'll see. Then we have another event which is hosted by Carnival Life. If I'm going to actually highlight all of these organizers, events, bands, whoever's hosting a party or event, I'm actually going to put all of their specs and all of their Instagram information down below in the description bar. I'm not putting any links to Fetes, any links to any ticketing, because I don't want to have any issues with potentially purchasing off of the wrong site. So I'm going to put all their information out there, and everything that you need is up to date, it's current, and they have all of the links to their Fête tickets on their Instagram page. So everything that you need will be there. I'll put that in for you. I'm also going to highlight a few things into the video as far as posters, videos, and footage of past events that I've attended as well. So moving on, Wednesday, Carnival Life has actually several events throughout the week, and I believe they still have a package deal available if you want to attend all of their events, or at least most of their events, so that you get it for a good value. But they do have WTMC, which is Welcome to Miami Carnival. So it's another kickback, cool, relaxed way to start off the week. Another event that I'm going to highlight, which is an honorable mention, because this wasn't marketed that well. I think this is actually led by a pretty big DJ Barry Hype, who hosts events. He's everywhere, and he has a big event in St. Lucia. He is Lucian. He does have an event in St. Lucia, which is Heelloooo, which is a kickoff to St. Lucia Carnival. I believe he also does this in DC as well. Miami last year, there wasn't too much marketing, not too much push. They put all the information out just a few weeks leading up to Miami Carnival. I ended up going. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the venue. I enjoyed my time there. It wasn't a big turnout, but I wasn't mad at that. I wasn't looking for rough riffraff and too much going on. The crowd was very mature, very well composed. They did have a few soca artists that were there just hanging out and chilling. So I actually did like it. So if they actually do push and market it, and if they're gonna come back, if he's gonna come back to Miami, or the team is gonna come back to Miami, I might find myself there. If not, I'll be at Rum Veranda. Next, we're gonna move on to Thursday. Now, Thursday is when things get going. Okay, you got to get your turbo pack on and get ready to go, because the week is going to fly from Thursday moving forward. So we have a boat fete if you are looking for a boat ride, which is booze and Bacchanal. It is a food inclusive event. It's something to look into. You get the Miami skyline, you get Caribbean music, you get a good time. It's no fail. Another event we have is Hookie, which is a pool party. Hookie is well-renowned, well-known in DC, in the DMV area. They have their events there. They do annually have their pool party here for Miami Carnival. It's a good time, vibes, all of the wet, splash around. If that's your thing, go for it. Another event that we have is $2 Fête. $2 Fête, again, going back to Carnival Life, is hosted by them. This event is one of those, listen, I don't know where to put myself, and I don't want to spend too much money. I just got to Miami and I'm just looking for a good time. That's it. This one might just be for you. It's $2 before midnight, I believe. After that, it may range from $10 to $20 or so. So it's something to be mindful of, but it is a cheap event. The space or the venues that they usually post it in is pretty large. It accommodates a lot of people. So if you're looking for chill vibes, this might be just for you as well. A chill and inexpensive vibe. This might be the thing for you. Another event we have is Army Fête. If you're looking for a change of scenery, this event is typically hosted indoors. You wear your camouflage and you go for a good time as well. Music, vibes, all of the things. That might be something to look into if you're interested in that. Army Fête. Another event that we have is hosted by Carnival Tribe from TNT, which is Tribe Ignite. This one is a drinks inclusive event. They had some hiccups a couple of years prior. It's a really good event, really good turnout. They had a couple of hiccups a couple of years in Miami post-COVID, like most organizers did. And last year they were on pause. So I don't know what happened. Either way, they're back. They've made a return. So Tribe Ignite is something to look into if you're interested. And now the piece de resistance, the saving the best for last event that I want to showcase for Thursday is Entice. Entice is a sexy event. Entice, the theme is all black. This year the theme is actually called City of Gold. So the attire is still all black, but with gold. So incorporate the gold however you see fit, whether it be through your clothes, maybe some gold hot shorts with a top, a black top, or just through your accessories. You don't have to put too much into it because the event is still an all black event. It's grown, it's sexy. There's something about the patrons just looking good. When people come to a fete and everybody just looks good and sticks to a theme, I really do love that. I feel like the patrons, even though the DJs and the organizers and the way things are set up do set the tone for the party, the people who are in attendance really kick things off. And I like this event because everybody's respectful and have a good time. There's still nobody has noses in the air though. They're respectful, they mind their business, and they enjoy themselves and they enjoy their company, and I just love that for us. So they do have a cash bar available. Drinks are pretty inexpensive, so it makes for a good time as well. They do have, I don't want to call it a concert or anything like that. They do have guest appearances or artist appearances. They might do a song or two and then go out to the next fete. That's just all it is. So it's just gonna be a drive-by of some artists coming by to perform. Now Friday. Friday's where the wheels start to spin, okay? Friday, there are a chock load of events going on, okay? So you really need to pace yourself and be mindful of your fetting style. If you are somebody who can bounce from fete to fete and you have the stamina and the money to pay for all these events, by all means go for it. But if it's not your thing and you really want to enjoy an event, I would say, you know, really figure out your fetting style, really figure out what you like to do. There are some people who love a good breakfast fete. Some people love a wet fete. Some just want something that's real chill, inexpensive, no table service, no bottle service, just music, a big venue space, and just a really good DJ set. And that's about it. They don't need the step and repeat. They don't need the backdrops. They don't need the decor. They want to keep things simple. So be mindful of your fetting style while you're selecting events as well. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and continue on with Friday's events. So one event we have, which is led by Ryan Saeed and DJ Private Ryan, is Soca Str. So that's a early morning event and it ends early. So you really can kick off your Friday if you like to and then go on about your day with the next events. Another early event that we have is Foam Fête. So think of wet fete with foam and all that stuff. So that's another one led by Carnival Life, like I mentioned before. Again, this organizer has a lot of events for the week, so you will find something to get into. So Foam Fête, if that's your speed, go for it. It's a good time. It looks like a good time. I'm not the wet fete foam kind, so do with it as you will. But it always makes for a good time when there's foam and water and music. You can't go wrong. Another event to highlight is duck work, or the F word work, which is led by Scorch. That one is a pretty popular event as well. Just pure vibes, good music, good time. And I want to say Fridays are perhaps the battle of the brunches. We don't really have, like, if you're into like brunch events, we don't do it on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, because that's when we have our carnival. So our brunch is dedicated for Friday. We have 2 brunch events to choose from, or if it's your thing and you have the ability to navigate both, go and do both. But I'm going to highlight Citrus, which is led by Radiance Productions. They've been around for a long time. They host quite a few events. Citrus is your all-inclusive brunch experience. I've done events in the past with Radiance. They used to have a Bubbles and Brunch event hosted in the springtime. The food selection is incredible. The drinks are all premium. music non-stop. Now they do usually do a blend of some dance hall with the soca music, is what I noticed with Bubbles and Brunch. But the music is going, the drinks are flowing. It's always gonna be a good time. They have an amazing setup, the decor. They're known for their renowned Hennessy fountain. So if you're looking for an all-inclusive experience, because there aren't many for Miami Carnival Week, this will be the event for you. Me, on the other hand, I will be at Brunch Soca. I went for the first time last year. I want to say this was probably their launch from last year. I know that based upon footage that I saw on their page, they did have something before the year prior. I just don't think it turned out that well. So last year I was gonna say their launch or their kickoff, and they didn't miss. They did a beautiful job with decor. It is a food inclusive only event. This event is hosted all across the islands. I want to say the organizer is trying to make this global. They were just in Dubai. They've got plans to go to Ghana. They've got so many countries on their lineup. I believe, is it Malta? I'm not sure where else. But they have quite a few other countries that they're looking to step themselves and make their mark into. So it's beautiful, great DJ lineup. The food selection is perfect. When it comes to fetes, me personally, food inclusive is not too important for me. So I do like things that are light. A little bit of rice, a little bit of chicken, like already cut up real nice. A little bacon shark, un pate, something to just fill my belly up, because I prioritize drinking alcohol more than I do eating at a fete. Because sometimes at a fete, you just don't have the setup for it. Then you don't have like a big enough table. You might be on like a little one of those high tops, or you might be juggling on your lap and doing this. Your fingers get dirty. You got to brush your teeth. You got to rinse your mouth. It's a lot going on at a fete. So for me, being all inclusive or food inclusive is not too important for me. But I wish that this event could be drinks inclusive or all inclusive. It would be nice if they did switch things up, and it would be a big competitor for Brunch and for Citrus. But Citrus, again, is a beautiful event. The vibes are nice. The venue that they do it at is beautiful. Everybody dresses up in the themed colors. So it's really a nice time. But just for now, for me this year, I'm planning on being at Brunch Soca again. And we have Tingo. Tingo is led by Wolfpack, really, and by far, Mega, which is really popular in New York. They have Tingo. The theme this year, or I guess what they're looking to do this year, is retro, which is going to be soca music from the 2000 and older. So that's going to be pretty good. That could be, I can see that being a really good time. And especially imagine dressing up retro too, like retro Caribbean or just retro in general, like whatever era you decide to dress up in. I think that'll make for a fun time too. Then we also have Big Fat Fish. Big Fat Fish is a drinks inclusive event that is led by Scorch. This event I went to last year. They did a beautiful job with the decor. Okay, they really honed in on the aquatic theme. They had these beautiful mermaids set up. They had really nice step and repeats. They had Moko Jumbies at the front entrance, which was really nice touches. But something about the event didn't sing to me too much. They did have live performances. It was a packed event. But I don't know, I was so excited and happy at Brunch Soca, and I actually left the Brunch Soca early to go there, and Brunch Soca extended their time too, so that pissed me off. But I ended up at Big Fat, and the energy was just a little bit different. Even though it was packed full of people, they were at a larger venue than Brunch Soca. The energy just felt different, the music, I don't know, I can't really place what it was. But for me personally, Big Fat wasn't high on my list this year. I would like to explore it again in the future, but for now, I think I'm just gonna close out my Friday at Brunch Soca. There's also another event. This one is also led by DJ Private Ryan and DJ Ryan Saeed, and it's called Soul, or Soca and Soul, Soca y Sol, how it used to be called, but it's Soul. And that one is another chill kickback. It's in Wynwood, so some of the venues there are a little bit smaller, so just be mindful of that as well. Parking might be a little tight, but you'll always find something. A lot of the events actually happen to be in the Wynwood area, so it's a good place to stay if you are looking at, you know, Airbnbs or hotels as well. And the last event I want to highlight is a cultural event, which is Panorama. It is the steel pan competition. Panorama is something that an event that I really want to attend, but it does clash with the events. It does start early. It starts early in the day, but the competition doesn't kick off until the night. So I do, maybe not this year, but I do intend potentially next year attending Panorama and closing out my Friday night doing that. If it ends early enough, then I might end up going someplace else after that. I might find an event to step into, but for the most part, I'll be at Panorama next year. I really want to do a lot more cultural events because Carnival is much more than just shaking your backside, whining, dancing, fetes and things. There's a lot of culture, there's a lot of history behind it. So I definitely want to attend a lot more cultural events, but that's something to also look into if you are not into fetting. If you really are just going to come for the road experience and you want to get into something, Panorama is a really good event to look into. It's a beautiful event. They have food vendors there. I'm sure they have other vendors showcasing things that are Caribbean related and Caribbean businesses. So it's a great way to network too, or a great place to network, I think, as well. So that's something that I'm going to look into next year. Panorama will see me next year. In the meantime, I do plan on doing some international jumps. So I'm hopeful that the steel pan competitions do fall in line where I'm able to attend it internationally. I came from St. Lucia this summer, last month, and their cultural events are actually a week or two before Carnival week, which, if money was of no object, I would actually fly in, do all the cultural events, do the Carnival King and Queens, do all the Battle of the Bands, whatever they got going on, do all that cultural stuff, do the Soca Monarch, everything, do the Calypso competition, everything, you know. I love St. Lucia so much. I would do all of that and come back home, recalibrate, repack, and then fly right back out for Carnival week. I would love to do that. And I actually do like that they are separate from each other, so that people have the opportunity to really indulge and really engulf themselves in the culture before they go into the wetnessness of Carnival week and the fun and all the Bacchanal and all the craziness that goes into Carnival week. Now, Saturday. If you don't go to Juve, where else will you go? Like, seriously, truly. Like,
damn, if you can't go to Bellanoches, where the hell could you go?
Like, Saturday in Miami Carnival week is meant for Juve. Juve is paint, powder, it's freedom, it's recklessness, it's looseness, it's no judgment. It's the place to really unwind. Sometimes you go to an event and you might be dolled up, dressed up, and you feel like you might have to compose yourself a certain way. Juve is for being non-composed. Juve is for being crazy, wild, and free. So I would highly recommend going to Juve and attending. If you are concerned about dirt, this, that, paint, powder, and all the wet foam and water and all that stuff, you can do what you need to do to protect your hair, protect all that stuff, protect your lashes, I don't know, but you must go. It is an absolute must. Juve is early Saturday morning. Traditionally on the islands, it's very early at the crack of dawn, at the butt crack of dawn. But our Juve, it is Miami. We are slow. We start late. So even though Juve is scheduled to start at 7 a.m., we usually don't get kicking on the road until about 9 or so. But I'd definitely say do attend. Do come early enough. If you're with a band, if you're going to be with a band and for Juve, then definitely take advantage of the food, your drinks, get started, walk around, meet people, go to the other bands, see what everybody else is looking like, see what everybody else is doing, take pictures, and then we get marching and moving on the road about 9 or so. 8 or 9-ish. Now after that, you can pretty much end your Saturday there, but there are quite a few events going on Saturday. We have Soca Brainwash, which is led by DJ Private Ryan. This event is very popular in Trinidad, popping in Trinidad from the looks of it. I haven't been to Trinidad Carnival yet. And it's a beautiful time. I want to say it's more like a DJ showcase because it's a long list of DJs with their sets back to back to back to back to back. And I love a good DJ set, so I'm really excited about Soca Brainwash. It is a drinks inclusive event. That's a plus for me. And it's themed. I love it. The theme this year is prehistoric. So we're thinking Flintstones, Pebbles, all of the things, Wilma, all of the things, all of the fun things related to prehistoric era, prehistoric times. We have another event, Tingo, again led by Wolfpack, and by far this one is another themed event. It's melon or watermelon, so think of the colors associated with watermelon, or even just watermelon themed jewelry or whatever. And it's not that it is a drinks inclusive event, but they do have a drink and food inclusive package available. So you can do a food inclusive or you can make it an all inclusive, but I want to say it's a limited all-inclusive package that they have. So they've got different tiers, so you decide what kind of experience you're looking for. If you just want general admission, you just want to attend and have a good time, go for it. If you want to make it all-inclusive, you do have the option as well. Then we have another boat party on Saturday, which is an all-white party, Miami Nice. Again, Miami skyline at night is gorgeous. So if you're just there for the scenery, that's a good option for you. I love my city. Miami is gorgeous, especially at night. So that's really a good time to have music and fun flowing. We also have a concert. If you are into concerts, which I am, but I'm not doing it this year, we do have one fete. One fete, Kes, I want to say, is typically the headliner, but there is a long list of soca artists that will be performing, so that's something that you can look into if you are into concerts. They do have VIP packages available. I would highly recommend. That's what I did when I went a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed the experience. I had an amazing time at one fete. So if you're into concerts and if you want to see performers, you want to see live bands, okay, going wild, it will be a good time. That will be for you. Now, if you're looking for something that's a bit more chill, kick back, lay back, we've got a cooler fete, which is Viva La Carnival, hosted by Radiance Productions. Remember, the same people who did Citrus, the all-inclusive event, they do Viva La Carnival. So it's a really good way to kind of like unwind the day before road day Sunday. So if you're looking into something that's a bit more chill, they do have cash bar available as well. But usually cooler fete, the vibes usually call for a very relaxed environment. Everybody's just there enjoying their friends, because you usually kind of come together and everybody kind of pitches in and puts something and contributes something to the cooler. And so it's a good event to link up with people, I think. If you have missed a few of your friends throughout events and you've kind of, crossed paths and you haven't really had time to really party with each other, Viva La Carnival is a great place to reconnect and meet new people. Because it's one of those things where it's like, you got some Henny? You want to switch? Like, it's like cooler fetes are just that kind of environment. Like, let me get a sip of that. Let me get a shot of that. What you got in your cup, right? It's one of those type of things. So I think like cooler fetes are just kind of like that. I'm not a big cooler fete fan. I'll go just to go. I might end up there because Soca Brainwash does end early and Viva ends at 2 or 3 a.m. So I might pull up if time allows, or if I feel like it. If I still have a little bit of energy left in me to do something, I might just pull up into that. Now I'm going to mention a couple of events that are deviating away from Soca. We have Scorch Spice, led by Scorch. This one, Spice, the queen of dancehall herself, does her performance. So if you're looking for dancehall, if you're looking for reggae, looking for Jamaican vibes, Scorch and Spice may be the event for you on Saturday. Another deviation from Soca, if you're interested, Caribbean Culture Fest. This one is for my Haitian, or those who like compa, rabodai, Haitian music. This might be an event to look into if you do want to break away from Soca and all the other events or all the other Trini events. That's something that you can look into as well. There is a long list of Haitian performers, artists that will be there, so it makes for a good time. So again, if you want something that's a little bit different, a change of pace, that might be for you. Be mindful, for the whole week, we already have existing lounges, clubs, organizers that are Caribbean based that host events throughout the year in South Florida. They capitalize on Carnival Week and put on productions. They usually bring guest DJs, guest performers, entertainers. They may have a really good setup and decor. So again, if you come to Miami Carnival and you're not really into Soca, or you don't want to do all of the kind of popular events, you can always find some of these lounges. I'm actually going to include links to places or websites that you can find fetes. And it's a long list of fetes, and you can really just pick and choose. Last year, because one of the events kind of fell through, me and my friend ended up randomly going on Eventbrite and just narrowing it down by Thursday. It was actually Entice. Entice had a hiccup. That turned into a full belch last year. They actually got canceled at the last minute. We were almost on the way there when it got canceled. It was a yikes. That's another thing too that I want to also kind of address. I know some people feel a way about events, especially if things didn't go well one year or a year or two. I do have grace when it comes to the events. Last year was tough for a lot of organizers. A lot of things got either shut down early or canceled for whatever reason, and it was always at the last minute. What I liked is how they handled adversity and how they handled the conflict. That's what I look at with some of these organizers. There was no question about getting a refund. The event didn't happen, therefore give me my money. I didn't have to harass anybody. I didn't have to file reports with my bank. It was what it was. The money was back in my account, I want to say that Friday or Saturday. They wasted no time, and the event was for Thursday night. So I was really pleased with that. I wish we had more context on actually what happened. It could have been just inspection, who knows what it was, because I was actually active on their stories on Instagram and I was watching them set up. So I'm like, what went wrong? Like, I was so excited. I was dressed in my all black, looking sexy and everything, and it didn't happen. So yeah, but either way, we ended up, just like I said, on a fluke, going on Eventbrite, narrowing it down by the day, and we just found an event that was free, pulled up, and it was a dual event. So it was dancehall reggae indoors, and then it was soca on the patio, and it was nice. The DJs played pure soca, good blend of music. The dance hall room was lit, okay? It was a nice time. I actually enjoyed it, and I want to say this is a restaurant and lounge that hosts events throughout the year. They just capitalize on Carnival Week and make it a time. They know a lot of people are flying in. They know people who are local are coming out for these events. So they just give people options. They're just giving a variety. So again, you can always find something else to do if you don't want to do the traditional events. I'm coming out to do these events because a lot of the organizers are not local. They're from Trinidad. They're from the islands. They're from New York. They're from the DMV area, from DC. So they're coming from all over to host these events. So I'm looking forward to actually attending these events because I'm looking at how they host events throughout the year in other cities. So I'm getting excited about them coming here for Carnival Week, and I dedicate Carnival Week to some of these types of events. But if I'm looking for a chill, kickback, nothing to do, inexpensive or free event, there are plenty of options available if you do not want to spend hundreds of dollars or anything like that on an event. Then we're gonna go into Sunday, which is Carnival Day, Mas Day, Road Day, the day we've all been waiting for. So now this day, if you are going to be in a band, if you're with a band and you're going to be marching or in the parade, then you know your whole day is dedicated to that. That's it. That's it. If you're a woman and you're deciding to get your makeup professionally done, you get your makeup done that morning, then you get yourself set up and ready to go on a road, and you know you have a long day ahead of you, men and women. If you are not going to be marching in the parade and you want to come as a spectator, that's available to you. Tickets are very inexpensive. It's $50, but you're getting a full experience. You're getting a show, you're getting the parade. There's also a concert that night. There are a lot of vendors out there, so it really makes for a good time as well. You meet a lot of people across the diaspora. It's a great way because sometimes on a regular day, you may not come across people from certain countries. Like, it's not too often that I may come across somebody from Guyana, or I may come across somebody from St. Lucia, or not too many Bajans are in my circle. So this is a great time to meet people all across the Caribbean and outside of that, because this is open to all, of course. So if you want to come as a spectator, feel free to do that. They do have different options where you can do a VIP or a cabana option, so you can be comfortable as you're watching the parade. If Carnival is not your thing, if you did not come from Mas, if you've maybe done it enough times and you've gotten it out of your system, you have no interest. If you've been fetting all week and you do not want to come for road day and you're not interested in watching the parade, there is an event called Detour. Literally, Detour. So this event is one hosted by DJ Ryan Saeed. So this one is an event that you can look into. It's in Wynwood. Good vibes, good time. You can't go wrong. While you're there, you can explore Wynwood. Before you go to the event or after the event, there's a lot to do in Midtown Miami, Wynwood, downtown Miami. So you can use that day to explore Miami, be a tourist, or if you're familiar with South Florida, you can hit up the spots. If you got family, visit family that day, do what you want to do. Or if that's your time to return home, whatever you please. But I definitely would implore you to stick around because we do have some events for Monday. But continuing on for Sunday, we close out with Endless Jam. Endless Jam is the night of Carnival. That event starts at 9, it ends at 3 a.m. That event is for revelers who may be done with the road experience. They crossed the stage, they got it out of their system, their bellies are full of juice, water, alcohol, and food, and they just want someplace else to continue partying. Of course, there's a lot going on still after the road. Bands are still crossing, music is still going, so you can still just enjoy the bands that are there and dance with them. I actually know somebody, she's not of Caribbean descent, but she says she and her friends who introduced her to it would come as spectators, do VIP, get like really good seating, get access to, get a bottle and have a good time, and they would just dance with revelers after they've crossed. So they love that experience. So there's just really, you can look at it so many different ways and you can make it whatever kind of experience you want. But me personally, I left early with the intentions of going to Endless Jam last year. It didn't quite work out. So this year I'm just gonna hang out. road ends at 11. Most people are leaving by that time, even before that time. So by 11 o'clock, things are mostly shutting down. So I plan on sticking around there. Endless Jam is an option for you to attend. That goes on until 3 a.m. So that'll make for a good time. The music is going. If you still got that in you, you want, you know, that final, that second wind, and you, or adrenaline is pumping, or you popped a Red Bull or a Monster and you want to keep going, Endless will be for you. Monday is a day where shortly we can end things here. If you are not local to South Florida, this might be the time that you decide to fly out and go back home. This might be a time where you say, oh, I want to explore Miami and see what Miami has to offer and do this. Or I wanted to try this restaurant that I saw on TikTok, yada, yada, yada. But we do have a few events that I would recommend looking into before you go. I know people who will go to these events, finish off, clean up, and just go straight to the airport right after. Like, you can't miss these events. I'm going to highlight two. They are what I would call a Juve alternative event. Again, when anything includes mess, dirt, paint, powder, water, it's going to be an automatic good time. We have Stinkin' Dutty. Stinkin' Dutty launched last year for the first time in Miami. It's very popular in Trinidad. This event is a drinks inclusive Juve alternative style event. I really enjoyed this event. It was organized. Even though it was a Dutty event, it felt clean because it was so organized and the venue was perfect. It was large enough. Everybody had a room to roam. They had a hose to rinse off. The paint didn't leave it didn't stain because I think they used powdered and added water. Either way, the paint doesn't really stain. You rinse off clean. Like, I really enjoyed Stinkin' Dutty, and I will be there again. Another Juve alternative event is SSS, Secret Soca Society. This event is led by DJ International Freeze. This event is a crowd favorite. I went a couple of years ago when they were experimenting with making it drinks inclusive. That was disorganized and it did not turn out well, but the vibes were immaculate. This event is known for playing pure soca. That's one thing that DJ Freeze stresses, is making it pure soca all across the island. So you're hearing Bajan soca, you're hearing bouillon, you're hearing Lucian soca. It's all across the Caribbean, which I truly appreciate. I'm gonna be very honest with you and say you're not gonna get that anywhere else at any other event for Miami Carnival. Argue with your mama, not me. I'm serious. You're not gonna get that. Even on the road. On the road, you're gonna get soca, but it may be repetitive. I don't think I've heard the same song twice at SSS, to be quite honest with you. And if I did, it was a road mix or a remix to a song. So you're gonna get pure soca. Last year was a little bit of a mess because of their venue selection, and they actually went back to being a cooler fete by popular demand. It's always been a cooler fete, but like I said, they were experimenting with the drinks inclusive thing, which didn't quite work out. I wish they would have experimented with trying to explore different ways to make it drinks inclusive, or giving people the option to purchase a drinks inclusive package. Maybe, je ne sais. Like, maybe when we get there, we provided the bottles, we provided the cups, because again, Rebecca is not a cooler fete girl, that's why. Last year was ghetto. I'm sorry. Last year it was in the ghetto. It was not in the most ideal location. It was a great turnout because of course people are going to support it. They love it. It has a good reputation. But last year just wasn't it for me. So honestly, this year I'm skipping SSS. I may revisit it next year, but I'm gonna close out my Monday at Stinkin' Dutty, and I may potentially find myself at this last event, which is Bacchanal Beach. It's actually going to be at the same location that Stinkin' Dutty is held out at Virginia Key Beach. So another really nice large venue. So I might just end up there to close out my Monday. We'll see what the vibes are, how I'm feeling. Yeah, so that is pretty much Miami Carnival week. Now it's up to you to decide what you want to make of the week. You know, organize yourself, get your friends together, figure out what you want to do. Don't be afraid to even attend events on your own. You're gonna always meet people when you get there. So if your friends are not into something, don't worry yourself or trouble yourself with going to an event that you have no interest in going to. You can organize yourself and find yourself somewhere. And if you happen to be going by yourself, look for me. Find me. I'll take you right under my wings. But either way, yeah, so that is pretty much how we closing out the week. I hope that this is informative for you. Again, all the information to their Instagram pages will be down below in the description. Click the link and it takes you right to their page and you get all the information. You can look at the party highlights. You can look at the highlights from their prior events and all the other events that they host throughout the year, as well as the links to all of their tickets. Thank you for watching. See you at Miami Carnival.